So Ghana gets strong about the year 1000 when we're looking at it. And this is when the Soninke Empire, the people of Ghana, were able to go out and get more gold, and they were able to trade. The capital they built, Kumbe Salah, became a focus of all trade. And they even taxed all the trade that happened. And this is how the Kingdom of Ghana actually grew more powerful. Now, why did this trade happen in Ghana? One of the biggest reasons why this trade happened is because there's a shift. What happens is we have a shift in trade. Now, if we look at the map of Africa back here, we can see that this is where the West African kingdoms are. Now, what changes the trade is that they start using camels. Before that, they were using donkeys, they were using horses to try to get across the Sahara Desert. But this didn't work too well because many of those animals literally died. They couldn't make it all the way to West Africa. When gold is discovered and the camel is used for trade, you can make these big, huge, long treks across the Sahara. And gold being there, which is worth a lot because gold was used for coins, was used for money, and all across the trading network, across the Silk Road trading network. They wanted the gold for coins, and gold had values, obviously, as jewelry. So this meant that camel loads of people from Arabia, from northern Africa, Morocco, these regions were coming across the Sahara to West Africa, and this opens up West Africa to a huge trade network all the way to the sides of the Mediterranean and beyond. Ghana gets referred to as the land of gold. Geographer al-Bakir described the 11th century court at Kumbe Salah where he saw gold embroidered caps, golden saddles, shields and swords mounted with gold, and dog collars adorned with gold and silver as well. The Soninke, or the people of Ghana, managed to keep their source of gold secret from the Muslim traders. However, the Kingdom of Ghana eventually does decline and then does fall, and there's many reasons for this. One is because they lost their trading monopoly. And at the same time, there was a drought that was starting to have long-term effects on the land. And also, Ghana was under pressure from outside sources too. There's an Arab tradition that says the Almoravid Muslims came down from the north. They'd be around this area today we call Morocco. They came down from the north and they were able to invade. And we don't know if they had a military takeover or not. It could have been gradual. They came in, there were some attacks. What we do know is that Ghana becomes weaker. Ghana becomes weaker, and other people start seeing this, and they start exploiting the gold mines that are nearby. They find more gold mines, and they start trading with the North African and Arab traders. And this means that Ghana becomes weaker. They're no longer able to control this gold trade. And this eventually falls and causes Ghana to fall, which falls and leads to kind of like a period of warring states in West Africa, similar to China at the end of the Zhou dynasty. So, with the fall of Ghana, later on there will become a rise of another empire, which is called Mali. And the Mali Empire rises, and think of this again as dynasties. Think of these as kind of like ruling families coming in. The Mali are a group of people who come in and take power after Ghana. The leader of Mali's name is Sundiata. I'm pretty sure he's on a vocab term. Sundiata Kete rose to power, and he brought all the clans or Mansas under his leadership and declared himself king or Mansa over all. So Mansa just means king. He's basically able to take this period of warring states. You have all these different clan leaders who are fighting amongst each other, and he's able to bring them together. And a significant part of the empire gets its wealth from the gold fields, which again they open that up and they're back to training. The first capital of Mali, Niani, was built close to this mining area. Mali also was able to get control over the gold salt trade. They took that over from Ghana. After Ghana fell, they were able to reestablish this gold salt trade. And Sundiata, leading Mali, is able to take over the city of Timbuktu. It was kind of like a city-state, and he's able to take it over and make it part of the Mali Empire. And it will continue, and it grows as an academic leader in the Mali Empire. It's a focus of trade. Timbuktu is a city of trade. It is a city of scholarship. It is a city of books. By the 12th century, Timbuktu became a celebrated center of Islamic learning and commercial establishment. Timbuktu had 3 universities and 180 Quranic schools. When I say Quranic schools, think like a private school, except for not a Christian private school or a Catholic school like we are. Think of like a Muslim private school. This was a golden age in West Africa. Books were not only written in Timbuktu, but they were imported and copied there and exported too. There was an advanced local book copying industry in the city, and the universities and private libraries continued unparalleled scholar works in almost anywhere in the world. Maybe possibly Baghdad would be kind of like a sister city of Timbuktu at this time. The famous scholar Ahmed Baba was one of those who was later on, he was exiled in Morocco. He claimed that when he lived in Timbuktu, he had a library of 1,600 books that had been plundered and stolen. And actually today in Timbuktu, you can still find some of these old books in the city. Now, Timbuktu is most famous for, the Mali kingdom is most famous for its leader, Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa is seen as, in all of historical time, as being the richest man ever to have lived, because the king of Mali was technically owned all the gold that came back and forth. He commissioned his design and construction of numerous stunning buildings and mosques. The booming economy of Timbuktu attracted the attention of this emperor of Mali. Mansa Musa was able to take over and build the city up in 1325. Mansa Musa also built a royal palace in Timbuktu, and he built another huge mosque in the city of Jeni. He built a great mosque in the city of Gao, and today the foundation of the Mosque of Gao exists. The foundation, and actually the whole Mosque of Jeni, still exists to this day. The emperor also brought Arab scholars. So Mansa Musa, who's after Sundiata, we have Sundiata, then later on comes Mansa Musa. The emperor also brought Arab scholars to Timbuktu. But to his surprise, the emperor found that Mansa Musa found these scholars to be underqualified compared to the black scholars of Timbuktu. He found his own scholars to be more knowledgeable. Mansa Musa is very famous for his pilgrimage to Mecca, which was made in 1325, and it made him world famous in the Mali kingdom, world famous. One report is that he took 60,000 porters with him. Each porter or person carried about 3 kilograms of gold. That's 1,800 kilograms of gold. So that is about 180 tons is the approximate. There are different numbers on that. That's our approximate. He had so much gold in him when he stopped in Egypt and Alexandria, as we saw in our video, the price of gold slumped and went down for years. But he put Mali on the map, in the kingdom of Timbuktu on the map, which could have later led on to Europeans and other people coming to plunder that gold in people in later years. Mali declines because of a combination of weak and ineffective rulers who came after Mansa Musa. And there's raids by people who want to, get the gold. And eventually the empire does fall. And it is taken over by the Songhai Empire, who we will be talking more in the later units. So there's a Songhai Empire. We'll talk about the river and military takeover and how the Songhai were able to take over Mali later.